Lesson 10.6, Volumes of Prisms and Cylinders. Volume is the amount of space a solid occupies. So it's the inside amount of a solid. It's like taking the classroom and filling it up with boxes. How many boxes would it take? Now, the volume of a prism is the product of an area of the base and the height. Just like last time, they give you very generic formulas, so I'm going to be a little bit more specific. And first one I'm going to talk about, and this is prisms, is if it's a triangular prism. So this is a triangular prism. You're going to use the formula 1/2 base of the triangle times height of the triangle times the height of the prism. So like this would be the base, this would probably be the height because this is where your right angle is, and then here's the height of the prism. This is a rectangular prism. So the formula for rectangular prism is length times width times height. You're just multiplying the three sides together. You also might have a square prism, which is called a cube. This is taking the side and squaring it, so side times height. You could still use the rectangular prism formula, but this is more specific. Please write these down. So example 1, we have volume of a prism. Okay, they give you this generic formula. Here's the more specific one for a rectangular prism. You're taking the length, the width, and the height. Multiply them together. 520. This is volume, so we cube it. Cubic meters. You could also say 520 meters cubed with little 3. Because it's asking how many little boxes, cubes, would fit into this shape. Volume of a triangular prism. The formula we use is 1/2 base of the triangle, height of the triangle, times height of the prism. So let's label those things first. So look at the triangle, that's this part right here. This is the base, this is the height. The height of the prism connects the two triangles, so this triangle and the triangle at the very end, which is this number. So we're taking 1/2 times 12 times 4 times 9. Well, this is just 6 times 4 times 9, which equals 216 cubic inches. Again, you could just write 216 inches cubed. Cylinders, again, the formula they use is very generic. Don't even worry about that part. But they do give you a more specific one that you should write down. Please write this down. Taking pi r squared times h. They will give you the radius, they will give you the height of the cylinder. You need to square the radius, multiply by height, times it by pi. Remember, if they give you diameter, you have to take diameter divided by 2 to equal radius. So for this example, we want to find the volume of a cylinder. They give you diameter. Divide this by 2. The radius is 5. Here's the formula we need. Radius is 5, so we square it, times height is 6. There's only 2 numbers that we have. Always do your square first. I think a lot of people get these wrong because they try to take pi times 5. Do 5 squared, which is 25. Then maybe take it by times 6, which is 150, and then you can multiply by pi, 3.14, or the number calculator 5, 471.24 cubic feet. Again, this is approximately. You may get slightly different answer depending on what pi you use. Guided practice number 1, 2, and 3. Let me help you by giving you what formulas you need. The first one is a triangular prism. It is 1/2 times base times height of a triangle times height of the prism. This is your right angle, so this is the height, this is the base, and then what connects, the height of the prism, is connecting the two triangles, and that's this. Number 2, we have length, width, times height. Doesn't actually matter which one's the length, which one's the width, and which one's the height. Cylinder, pi r squared times height. R is 3.5. Actually, let me just tell you which they are. You can put them in the formula. Please solve problems 1, 2, and 3 by yourself. Now that you have solved numbers 1, 2, and 3, please raise your hand and get Mrs. Shea to check your answers for 1, 2, and 3 before you move on. We are going to skip the rest of the notes for this chapter, but I do want to show you that on your practice problems, there may be a problem like this, which says find the volume of the solid. If 2 units of measure are used, give your answer in the smaller units. That, and you can see this is all millimeters, all feet, millimeters. It's like 11 and 12. I'm sorry, actually just 11 in this problem, or 13. In 11, it's centimeters and it's millimeters. That means I have to change centimeters into millimeters before I can solve anything. And I have to change feet into inches before I solve 13. At this time, get out your note card. This should be on the back of your note card. It's volume of a prism. We have a rectangular, that's a rectangle. Rectangular prism, length times width times height. A triangular prism, half times base of the triangle, height of the triangle, height of the rectangle, the prism, height of the prism. This is also a square if you want to put that. Cylinder, we have pi times r squared times the height of the cylinder. You are now done with the lesson.